मुझे रात को 2:30 बजे फ़ोन आया कि I'm calling for Oprah's show and करते करते anyway to cut the long story short I was invited. I went there. मैंने ओपरा से माफ़ी मांगी. मैंने कहा ओपरा, sorry that I did not acknowledge your invitation last year because I'm not good with two things. I'm not good with emails and I'm not good with females. I also attempted suicide because
you attempted.
Yes, because see there is so much of humiliation. I mean, imagine you are absolutely normal. You're a healthy person, and you're being forced to be taken to a doctor to get you treated. How will you feel that? It's a humiliation. मेरे अंदर बहुत ही मुझे घुटन महसूस हो रही थी कि मैं किसी की लाइफ बर्बाद कर रहा हूँ, मेरे ही कारण हो रहा है. So then I need to put an end to it. Then हम लोगों ने बात की आपस में. I didn't tell her about my sexuality related issues. हमने कहा कि बस ये जम नहीं रहा है. There's no use continuing a marriage. Or since we didn't have any sexual relationship, she was still a virgin. And non-consummation of marriage is a very valid ground for a divorce. हमारा divorce तो बहुत जल्दी हो गया. उसने प्रूव कर दिया that she's a virgin.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. आज का एपिसोड है प्रिंस मानवेंद्र सिंह गोहिल जी के साथ. He is the first openly gay prince across the world. Openly gay prince. A gay who is a prince and who came out. ये चीज़ उनके लिए कुछ टाइम तक कर्स भी बन गई थी. सोसाइटी, पेरेंट्स कोई भी एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाया. And he went through a lot of setbacks. From shock therapy to brain surgery, हर चीज़ उन्हें recommend की गई. But he fought. And there are a lot of people fighting for such reasons. And एक reason जो मुझे इस पूरे conversation में जो पता चला है, that is the lack of education and awareness. लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि एक natural चीज़ है यार, मतलब ये कुछ तोप नहीं है यार, ये उनका natural process है. तो let's accept it. It can be that easy just अगर society accept कर ले. And it's all start from us, एक इंसान से. So let's welcome the prince himself, Prince Manvinder Singh Gohil from Rajpipla. Namaste sir, welcome to the show. I am super excited to have this conversation with you. And okay, so first thing जो मुझे बोलनी थी जब से मैं वेट कर रही थी आपसे मिलने के लिए is, yes, I know you are a prince, but you are a hero. You are a real hero. क्योंकि जो चीज़, the way you are living your life, and in fact fighting your fights. I think this is the term जो हीरो यूज़ होता है ना, एंड जो प्रिंस क्या या जो महाराजा का जो काम होता है टू फाइट फॉर देयर कम्युनिटी, टू वर्क टुवर्ड्स देयर रीजन, सिटी, आप वो कर रहे हो बहुत शिद्दत से. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग एंड इट्स माई ऑनर टू होस्ट यू टुडे.
Thank you so much for having me over here. Yeah.
Yes. So first thing sir, मैं बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट करना चाहूँगी आपके साथ कि so you are an activist, right?
Yes.
So activist, what is the term means, and what are you doing lately? So if you can just tell us.
तो देखिए एक्टिविस्ट हर तरह का हो सकता है. You can be a human rights activist, you can be an animal rights activist, you could be an activist for not for others but for yourself. Because many times we fight for yourself and not for others. तो मैं जब अपने आप को एक्टिविस्ट की तरह से देखता हूँ तो I think I'm pan activist.
Okay.
And मैं सिर्फ इंसानों के लिए नहीं लड़ता हूँ, मैं जानवरों के लिए भी लड़ रहा हूँ, उनके भी हक के लिए. And fighting for environmental issues, for heritage, for organic farming, many things, many aspects of it. So I think और activist क्यों पैदा हुआ? Because जब हमें हमारा हक नहीं मिलता है या किसी को अपना हक छीना गया है, तो that is why मेरे definition के हिसाब से you have to act to become an activist.
Nice. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So aap sir, in 2006, right, that you came out publicly. You were around 41 years old.
Yes.
Then, right? So and that happened, you gave an article about it, right? So I want to know what happened that day then. Matlab how did the news come out? Who was the first person who heard? And उस दिन फिर क्या हुआ?
So, see, it is very interesting. I have been working for the community for many years, and of course, through my organization, which I started in the year 2000, which is called the Lakshya Trust. I've been very much involved with our work on advocacy and empowerment and education. But it was surprising that nobody in the media even noticed me, or like. They kind of knew who I am, but they never kind of knew that I'm gay. or I'm fighting for the rights because I'm gay myself, you know.
Huh.
But my news used to come in the media. Like I remember I went to Japan in 2005. I was sent to Japan by United Nations to an international conference on HIV and AIDS. So they covered that whole news about me going to Japan on behalf of Lakshya, which is working for the LGBT rights and everything. But they did not mention that I am myself from the community. You know?
Yeah.
So the media had covered me. Then there was this one journalist who somehow came to know about me, that I am also gay and I belong to a royal family. And she approached my organization and talked to my board, my CEO and on, and said that I would like to, interview the prince. Would you be interested? She said, okay, I mean, you can try. You can ask him. You know, he has not talked about his sexuality in the past. But if you think he will talk to you, then this is his number. You can ask him. So that's how she contacted me, and I was that time in that phase of my life where I was struggling to break free. मैं वो एक ऐसे बंधन में फंसा हुआ था कि जहाँ पे मुझे मजबूरन झूठ बोलना पड़ रहा था, और मैं वो बंधन से बाहर आना चाहता था.
तो तब तक आपकी फैमिली को भी नहीं पता?
मेरी फैमिली को
पता था ना,
बट समाज को नहीं मालूम.
समाज को नहीं था.
तो मैं ऐसे मौके के लिए वेट कर रहा था, और उसी मौके पे ये जर्नलिस्ट मेरे लाइफ में आती है, you know, and she asked me कि क्या आप ऐसा मुझे इंटरव्यू देंगे? I said yes, I will. She said, are you sure you won't back out? Because she was scared. क्या पता ये इंटरव्यू देने के बाद बोलते कि मैंने तो बोला ही नहीं था, you know. And she had not even met me. She on the phone, she took my entire interview, and the editor of her newspaper also asked her, are you sure he's ready? ऐसा नहीं, he might sue our newspaper and say कि मैंने तो ये बोला ही नहीं था. You not even met him. You haven't taken his signature, nothing. She said, no, I don't know, something down me says that I have that conviction, I have that faith in him, and he will not back out. She had that much of conviction, you know. And then I gave the interview with that newspaper. It was a big breaking news, frontline news. I still remember when the news came, there was some news about Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh. They got that much space only. I think the newspaper, you know, it was the full news, you know, full front page news, and poor Sonia Gandhi was on his in the small column, you know.
Okay.
And huge photographs of mine.
Wow.
So that was the breaking news.
So, matlab, so when you were 12 or 13, you realized, you know, that you are different.
Yeah.
But that was, you are a kid, और तब confusion भी होते हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात education तो होती नहीं है वो time पे, पता ही नहीं है. तो you were 12, और फिर when 25, 26 you got married, right? And this is the 41, at the age of 41 it came out.
Yeah.
So this is a very long number of years, you know, and this is a long journey. तो आपको कब, I'm sure जैसे आपने बोला कि मैं trapped feel करता था, तो बहुत बार ऐसा होता होगा कि, you know, I just want to tell everyone and scream out and say who am I actually.
Right.
So जब आप जैसे बोल रहे हो कि आपकी family को पता था, तो how, जब तक ये public नहीं हुआ था, तब तक what were their reactions?
तो see क्या हुआ कि उनको भी, फैमिली को भी बताना था, एक बिग चैलेंज.
Yeah, of course, royal
family, and you know, उनके ऊपर इंटरेस्टिंगली वर्ड गे एंड लेस्बियन तो मैं बचपन से सुनाता आ रहा था मेरे माँ बाप के मुँह से. When they would be talking, not to me, but ऐसे सर्कल्स में बैठे हुए हैं, तो बोलते थे, अरे you know that फॉलोइंग महाराजा वो तो गे है. एंड देन फॉलोइंग महाराज, और कोई महारानी के बारे में बात करते थे, कोई प्रिंसेस की बात करते थे, वो लेस्बियन है. अभी उस टाइम पे मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया है, नो, कि ये वर्ड्स क्या है. मैंने एक दो बार सोचा कि मैं डिक्शनरी पे देखूं. सो आई ओपन अप द डिक्शनरी, और वो लेस्बियन का तो वर्ड ही नहीं मिला मुझे. वो हमारे टाइम की डिक्शनरी और स्कूल की डिक्शनरी में तो लेस्बियन वर्ड ही नहीं था. गे देखा तो गे मिला. इट वाज रिटन गे मींस हैप्पी. तो मैंने कहा कि महाराजा हैप्पी है तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है. तो ये वर्ड्स मुझे मालूम थे, मेरे पेरेंट्स के मुँह से सुने हुए थे. अब पर अभी उनको फेस करना, उनको बोलना कि मॉम आई एम गे और डैड आई एम गे वाज लाइक ए लिटिल चैलेंजिंग फॉर मी. ना क्या रिएक्ट करेंगे, हाउ दे नो अबाउट सो एंड सो बीइंग गे एंड लेस्बियन, बिकॉज रॉयल फैमिली में तो बहुत गेज है, यू नो. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कोई भी फैमिली ऐसी नहीं कि जहाँ गे नहीं हो. एवरीवेयर देयर आर गेज एंड लेस्बियंस.
अच्छा, ओके.
We are a minority. We are 10% of the population, but फिर भी there is no classification of that कि only poor people can be gay and rich cannot be gay and this cannot be gay, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, ऐसे कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है. तो मुझे मालूम है कि कौन से रॉयल फैमिलीज में कौन गेज है, लेस्बियंस, आई नो दैट. बट अभी और उनको भी मालूम है, माई पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो नो दैट हु इज गे एंड हु इज लेस्बियन,
But they are not
द रॉयल फैमिलीज. हाँ, बट दे आर नॉट ओपन. अभी कैसे जाके बताओ, यू नो. सो मेरी बहुत पीड़ा हो गई थी. उसी दरमियान क्या हुआ कि मेरा नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन हो गया, यही सोच के. नो, आई वॉज टोटली प्रेशराइज एंड नो नर्वस ब्रेकडाउन हुआ तो I was hospitalized. I was in Mumbai in one hospital, and the psychiatrist who was treating me for this issue, I came out to him. I told him to see, his name is Dr. Khanna. He was running a hospital in Mumbai. So I said, Dr. Khanna, see, the problem why I am facing this nervous breakdown, this problem is that I am closeted. I am gay. I am not able to tell my parents, and that pressure is causing me this problem. So he was one of the best doctors I've met, most supportive doctor. First time, you know, meeting somebody like that. He said, don't even worry about it. Whatever you are absolutely natural and normal. There is homosexuality is not a problem. It's not a disease, not a disorder. Yes, there are very few people like you, but there are. So there's nothing to worry about. And if you want, I will tell your parents. मैंने कहा ये तो सबसे अच्छी बात होगी. अभी मेरा तो प्रॉब्लम उस हिसाब से सॉल्व हो जाएगा कि I don't have to face my parents. And he made it a point to call my parents one by one and in the group and tell them that, see, this is the problem your son's facing. And he explained it in a very simple layman's language. उनको समझ में आए वैसी कि आप जो सोच रहे हैं, आपके मन में जो विचार है वैसा आप निकाल दीजिए. He is absolutely natural, normal. ये वस्तु है, इसका कोई बीमारी नहीं, कुछ नहीं है. आप इसको केवल एक्सेप्ट कीजिए, इसको प्रेम कीजिए, इसको लव दीजिए. एक्सेप्ट हिम द वे ही इज. तो उस टाइम तो क्या था, दे वांटेड टू डिस्चार्ज मी फ्रॉम द हॉस्पिटल. तो दे एक्सेप्टेड. दे सेड ठीक है करके मेरे को डिस्चार्ज कर दिया. उसके बाद सब ऑल द हेल्प ब्रोक लूज, यू नो. देन स्पेशली माई मदर, शी सेड नहीं, ये डॉक्टर तो बकवास बोल रहा है, नो. ये हमारा बेटा गे हो ही नहीं सकता. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, यू नो, ही कैन नॉट बी गे. तो उनको पूछा क्यों नहीं हो सकता. इसके तो बहुत सारी गर्लफ्रेंड्स थी स्कूल में. Which I had. I mean, I studied in Bombay Scottish in Bombay. Most of the Bollywood was my girlfriends, you know. I had like Dimple Kapadia's sister was my girlfriend. Tiger Shroff's mother was my girlfriend. And Mala Sinha's daughter was my girlfriend. We had all Bollywoods. But then they don't know that girlfriend, that, you know, there is a word in Gujarati called Benpadi. You know? So when you we just friends, you know, there's no sexual attraction with these girls. So they were good friends of mine, but that doesn't mean if you have girlfriends, you cannot be gay. You know. Then they said, हमने तो इसका इतना अच्छा उसको इतने मतलब प्रिकॉशन से बड़ा किया है, संस्कार दिए हैं उसको.
अच्छा, संस्कार.
तो संस्कार को दे रिलेटेड बीइंग, संस्कार, इतना संस्कार उसको मिला है कि वो गे हो ही नहीं सकता. देन अगेन द डॉक्टर सेड कि मैडम, there is nothing to संस्कार and sexuality के बीच में कोई relationship नहीं है. You know, you can give a संस्कार, yet somebody might become a dacoit also.
Yeah,
you never know, you know. So anyway, वो भी छूट गया. Then they said the third thing that ये गे नहीं था, इसको गे बनाया गया है. He's been converted into becoming gay by people like Ashok Rao Kavi, who was the India's first leading activist, and he knew that our son was gay. And to promote homosexuality in India, he has misused our son and has exploited him to, you know, and made him gay so that he can promote, because he's a prince, so he can be used in that way.
मतलब जितना हो सकते थे इग्नोर कर रहे थे रियलिटी को. And
the doctor said, madam, all your points have no meaning. The good thing which came in my advantage was that I was born short-handed, left-handed. Sorry. मैं लेफ्ट हैंड से लिखता था, तो बचपन से मैं लेफ्ट हैंड से लिखता था, मैं नोटिस नहीं किया, यू नो. सो टीचर कॉल्ड माय पेरेंट्स एंड सेड कि वी जस्ट वांट टू पॉइंट आउट टू यू दैट योर सन इज राइटिंग इन लेफ्ट हैंड. इससे नहीं, ये तो बहुत गलत बात है. ये लेफ्ट हैंड से लिख रहा है, लेफ्ट हैंड से खा रहा है, ये तो ठीक है. हमारे अभी ट्रेडिशनल्स में सब राइट हैंड से होता है. अजायद और, यू नो, यू डोंट डू ड्रेसिंग इन Aarti and this and with left hand. You know, you can't even take prasad from your left hand. So you have to take everything in right hand. So this ये तो बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगी, you know. Again they took me to doctor. कि इसको कैसे भी करके right hand बनाओ. तो डॉक्टर ने घिस के मना कर दिया. He said no, we cannot. He is born a left-handed person. ये naturally left hand use कर रहा है. If you try to make him right-handed, it will have serious repercussions on his mental health. So so that again this time the same question came. The doctor said, "Look, madam, how you could not convert your son from left-handedness to right-handedness? You cannot convert him from becoming from gay to straight."
But we still tried, na? They still tried.
They said कि अगर इंडिया में इसका इलाज नहीं है तो हम इसको अमेरिका लेके जाएंगे.
They tried for the conversion.
Yeah. They tried to convert. पुराने लोगों ने किसी ने सलाह दिया इसको 1-2 झटके दे दो ठीक हो जाएगा. शॉक थेरेपी.
Okay.
हाँ वो भी
तो वो हुआ है?
नहीं, फॉर्चुनेटली नहीं हुआ क्योंकि वो जब अमेरिका गए पता करने के लिए डॉक्टर, लकीली फॉर मी, अमेरिकन साइकेट्रिक एसोसिएशन हैड वे बैक इन 1978 रूल्ड आउट that homosexuality is not a mental disorder. So they told my parents, देखो आप करने भी जाएंगे ना आप लोग जेल में जाओगे. You know, if you're trying to do that because America has a law, you know, America you cannot, do some things like this. So they put you to trouble.
Of course.
So then they were very disappointed.
So conversion therapy, but अभी इंडिया में करा रहे, I think होगा ही for sure.
मेरे पास cases आते हैं every month, every few days I get cases about children coming out to their parents.
एक बार सर आप व्यूअर्स के लिए एक्सप्लेन फर्स्ट कर दोगे कन्वर्जन थेरेपी.
हाँ, तो कन्वर्जन थेरेपी क्या होता है कि जब माँ बाप को मालूम पड़े कि हमारा बेटा गे है, लेस्बियन है, जो भी सेक्सुअलिटी से, वो लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं करना चाहते और वो सोचते हैं कि ये बीमारी है, ये एक मानसिक रोग है और जैसे कि कैंसर का इलाज है और ट्यूबरकुलोसिस का है तो वो सोचते हैं तो इसका भी इलाज हो सकता है. तो वो लोग डॉक्टर्स के पास भेजे जाते हैं और डॉक्टर्स भी ऐसे हैं जो जानते हैं कि ये बीमारी नहीं है, फिर भी अभी डॉक्टर्स आर प्रैक्टिसिंग अनएथिकली.
उसमें ये जो आप बोल रहे हो
तो लोग वैसे ऐसे ट्रीटमेंट्स देते हैं, ड्रग्स देते हैं, शॉक देते हैं जिससे करके पेरेंट्स को सेटिस्फाई कर सके कि हाँ हम लोग, क्योंकि उनको तो पैसा से मतलब है. नो, द डॉक्टर्स आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन यू. अनफॉर्चुनेटली डॉक्टर्स को ओथ दिया जाता है. आई एम सरप्राइज. डॉक्टर्स आर गिवन ओथ टू सर्व द पीपल. या तो एक अच्छा खासा इंसान बीमार होकर आता है डॉक्टर के हाथ से. मेरे ऐसे केसेस देखे. वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स वॉज प्रिस्क्राइब ड्रग्स बाय अ डॉक्टर बिकॉज द पेरेंट्स टुक हिम टू द डॉक्टर कि इसको ठीक करो, इसको स्ट्रेट बनाओ, नॉर्मल बना दो इसको, जैसे कि हॉस्पिटल नॉर्मल है. और उसको कोई ड्रग्स प्रिस्क्राइब कर दी, उसको तो दिमाग पे असर पड़ गया, साइड इफेक्ट्स आने लगे, उसको नींद आने लगी, उसको फिट्स आने लगे. ये तो अच्छा हुआ कि ही गॉट इन टच विथ पीपल लाइक मी, सम एक्टिविस्ट एंड ऑल. तो उन्होंने मतलब वो ट्रीटमेंट बंद करवाया.
तो आर यू डूइंग एनीथिंग फॉर कन्वर्जन?
यस, मैं एक्चुअली अभी बहुत ही जल्द एक पिटिशन दाखिल करना चाहता हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एंड अपीलिंग टू द गवर्नमेंट कि प्लीज बैन कन्वर्जन थेरेपी इन इंडिया इफ यू वांट टू सेव द लाइव्स ऑफ पीपल, इफ यू वांट टू सेव द लाइव्स ऑफ चिल्ड्रन. अभी एक केस हुआ था तमिलनाडु में 2 साल पहले, एक लेस्बियंस के साथ में अन्याय हो रहा था. तो वो पिटिशन तमिलनाडु में चेन्नई हाईकोर्ट, मद्रास हाईकोर्ट में फाइल हुआ है. द जज हैज़ गिवन अ वेरी हिस्टोरिकल जजमेंट. ही सेड दैट conversion therapy should be banned, and they've actually banned it in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is the first state in India to have banned conversion therapy.
Okay.
And they've informed the National Medical Commission, NMDC करके there's a commission is there. They've already informed them that anyone who tries to do any doctors, NMC is a collective of doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and all over India. So they are all part of that commission, and that commission has been informed by the court that anyone who tries to convert or attempts to indulge into this unethical behavior or unprofessional behavior, then the action would be taken against them. But वो तमिलनाडु में हुआ है, मुझे पूरी इंडिया में बैन कराना है.
But it's surprising, मतलब 377 एक्सेप्ट नहीं हो रहा और ये चीज को किसी ने बैन नहीं किया.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean there's so many suicides happening.
Yeah.
But children are dying, and I mean, my focus is that yes, it should be banned, but what is happening is a lot of minors are today are being exploited because of this. Because if you're an adult, you're in the position of a power. You can fight for yourself. You can say, I'm 18 and above, I'll take my decision. What about a 16-year-old boy? He doesn't have any power with him.
Exactly.
Even we cannot help him because he's a child. So if the parents have the right on him, and when the parents do like this with him, with the doctor, what is that child going to do? Either is going to turn man, and then he has to put them, or he'll commit suicide.
Of course.
So does India want this kind of things to happen? That India has to realize. Does India want to see people die, children die? Then India has to take the decision whether they want to see the children suffer in this country, or you want to see them getting justice.
Of course, 100%. आपको कभी मतलब did you felt so much? I mean, like you felt suicidal or something?
Yeah, definitely. I also attempted suicide because
You attempted?
Yes, because see, there is so much of humiliation. I mean, imagine you are absolutely normal. You're a healthy person, and you're being forced to be taken to a doctor to get you treated. How will you feel that? It's a humiliation,
And it's such a simple thing. मतलब, it's just an acceptance कि it's natural.
Yes.
It's a normal thing.
And that too, parents taking you.
But ये जो acceptance नहीं आ पा रहा है, what do you think? Why this is not happening? Who are the people who are not ready for this?
देखिए एक्सेप्टेंस क्यों नहीं आ रहा है बिकॉज लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस है
हाँ.
देयर इज लॉट ऑफ मिसकंसेप्शंस इन द सोसाइटी अबाउट अस एंड मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि हमारे वी आर अनफॉर्चुनेट कि हमारे देश ने कामसूत्र पैदा किया है लेकिन सेक्स एजुकेशन नहीं है
Yeah.
सेक्स एजुकेशन ही हमारे अदर इंस्टीट्यूशंस में नहीं है तो हाउ आर पीपल गोइंग टू कम टू नो अबाउट होमोसेक्सुअलिटी
Yeah. Kama Sutra तो in fact has a chapter about
Exactly.
and even हमारे जो temples है उसमें से जुड़ा हुआ है. हाँ.
हमारे तो कल्चर में है बट सी देयर हैज बीन डेफिनेटली अ डाउनफॉल अभी मैं बीच में किसी से बात कर रहा था ब्रिटिशर्स जब आए ना दे चेंज द एंटायर इंडियन एजुकेशन दे मेड द एजुकेशन सिस्टम इन अ वे टू सूट देयर रिक्वायरमेंट बिकॉज उनको इंडिया पे राज करना था पर अभी इंडिया तो अभी आज़ाद इंडिया है ना अभी तो 1947 से अभी इंडिया आज़ाद है तो वाई डोंट वी चेंज द एजुकेशन सिस्टम एंड वाई आर वी स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग द एजुकेशन सिस्टम स्टार्टेड बाय ब्रिटिश We are not being ruled by the Britishers anymore. We are not slaves, they are slaves. So that we have to follow the British.
But I think so change is coming now. There is a lot of shift now.
Yes. The change is coming. It is gradually happening. People are realizing that they need to be more independent. Just by getting independence on 15th August 1947 is not independence.
Yeah.
You have to put it in action. Then you will be a truly an independent country.
100%. So you talked about your parents जैसे तो how are your relations now with them?
When my parents went against me in public after I came out, I made one statement in the media. I said I do not blame my parents or I do not blame anyone who has gone against me. I blame their ignorance on the subject. मैं उनको नहीं दोषी ठहराता हूँ उनकी अज्ञानता को दोषी ठहराता हूँ और मेरा फर्ज बनता है as an activist, as a rights activist, to educate those people and bring them out of that ignorance. And that's when they will start accepting me. So वही हुआ I'll give you an example. My father, who had brought out notices in the newspapers disowning me, disinheriting me from the Alsis property, today he is a strong ally. Today he supports me, he tells people to support me, and today because he is supporting me, a lot of other people are supporting me. Not just that, he has gifted me a 15 acres of a royal establishment where I'm building India's first LGBT ashram.
Wow.
It's a community campus which I'm developing. Not just that, my father has laid the foundation stone of India's first LGBT ashram. Knowing fully well that it is for the LGBT community.
What changed? Awareness.
So just imagine there is a change that क्योंकि उनको मैंने अज्ञानता से दूर करके और सच्चा ज्ञान देखिए एजुकेशन से ज्ञान नहीं आता है He is a double graduate. He's a postgraduate, but he does not get his education from being graduate, because as I mentioned that our institutions lack sex education. They lack the education on the LGBT issue. But people like him needs to get educated. They need to remove the misconceptions from their minds.
Yeah.
Then they will realize that yes, we are not. We need to give justice.
And what about mom?
Mother, she's a very she doesn't take much interest in me. She's actually come to a conclusion that she cannot make me straight. So she's kind of accepted her defeat. He's saying अभी ये तो gay है तो gay रहेगा. इसको straight नहीं बना सकते अभी तो. इसको जैसा है जीना है वैसे जीने दो.
Nice.
So that's fine.
Nice.
But everyone, all those people who have gone against me, they are now supporting me, So I knew कि ऐसा change आने वाला है. You have to be very patient because the change will not come, as fast as you expect.
Of course, it will still take a lot of time.
Yeah, it will take time, but it's happening. The good thing is that change is happening, and I'm very hopeful that in coming days, definitely we'll have a lot of positive changes.
So when you came out, तब आपको किसने support किया था फिर?
So when I came out that time, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, who has been my godfather, just to let the audience know, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan is the first person in India to have come out openly as gay. Way back in 1970s, he has come out. So just imagine when there was absolutely no mention or talk. Yeah, I mean, Khajuraho and Kama Sutra existed, but nobody talked about it and nothing was happening. So imagine in those days he came out. And he has been a godfather not just to me, but to several other members of the community in India. So that's why he's called Amma. His nickname is Amma, He's like a godfather, godmother for a lot of community. And he has been a strong support to me all throughout my coming out phase and even pre-coming out. He stood by me and he said, you don't have to worry. Just follow what your conscience says and just be honest to yourself and honest to others. That itself is going to help you. So,
but when you got married, तब you were still, you thought you might, change back, कि शायद you will be straight because you were still confused at that time, right?
That time situation was much different than what I was now, I am now. Because that time, first of all, born in a royal family, you have very little exposure to the outside world. You're actually brought up in a cocoon, protected atmosphere. किससे मिल नहीं सकते, उससे बात नहीं कर सकते, ये नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं कर. So many norms and rules and regulations. और ऊपर से पेरेंट्स के साथ भी इतना कम्युनिकेशन अच्छा नहीं होता. I was raised by a nanny. अभी she was not educated, so मुझे मालूम था कि मेरा attraction गर्ल्स की तरफ नहीं है. Even though I had girlfriends, but I had girlfriends was because I didn't like the boys bullying the girls, So that's why a lot of girls became my friends, And boys did not like me because I used to stop them from bullying the girls. So वैसे करके I studied in a co-education school. I knew there was something different in me, but I thought maybe am I the only one like this? मेरे जैसे और हैं कि नहीं है? I didn't know. I thought maybe a temporary phase है when life में जैसे बड़ा होगा, if I get married, हो सकता है I might change. So ये सोच के my marriage was completely my choice. I wasn't forced by my parents to get married.
So do you talk to her now?
No. I thought it's better to have her deal with her private life. She's remarried, she's got children. So let her deal with her life. I don't think I should interfere into her life, or I would rather keep her life more private.
Yeah, but there is still there was a study before, like 80% of people still get married because of the pressure or maybe because they don't know.
Yes.
So अब change हुआ है वो start?
Yes, yeah, it is changing now, and because when we did our study in Gujarat, that time also we got this that almost 80% of the population, LGBT population, are married to the opposite sex, and a lot of them get pressurized, blackmailed. I would use the word emotional blackmail by parents. Mothers especially, sorry, mothers are listening to this, but mothers specialize in emotionally blackmailing. I get cases coming to me where the boys go and tell their mother, I'm gay, I do not wish to get married to a girl. He said, no, that's not happening. Even though you're gay, so what? You're getting married to a girl. If you're not getting married to a girl, I'm going to jump in the well. And then we are attached to the mother.
Yeah.
We are.
But ultimately, marriage to only जाती होगी.
So then they get married. They say, "No, mom, you don't jump in the well. I'm jumping in the well." Jumping in the well, he's getting married.
Yeah.
So they get married. The marriages don't last. Now अभी क्या फायदा ये सब शादी कराने का, किसकी लाइफ इसमें हो रहा है? जस्ट समाज को बताने के लिए कि हाँ हमने मेरे बच्चों की शादी करा दी. That is not life, no?
Of course.
You have to lead your life. When you're getting married, there is so many responsibilities one has to fulfill.
Of course.
And the basic responsibility of sexual satisfaction, if you're not able to give to your spouse, then what is the use of that marriage? You know?
In this might be a bit personal question. मतलब 16 months में
we never had sexual relation.
Okay, but how did you say no? Then
Actually, Oprah also asked me the same question. That what did you say on the first night? Did you say you had a headache?
yeah.
So, I mean, हमारे में तो ऐसे भी बहुत कारण, बहुत excuses बोल सकते हैं. तो बोल दिया था कि ये headache है, ये वो है करके.
अच्छा, you did say headache.
And then she used to cry. And मैं सोचता था कि वो होम सिक है, तो मैं उसको घर भेज जाता था. Then okay, now go home, you know. I was not knowing she's crying because she wants sex and I forgot to give her sex. So then it just continued and continued. And मुझे फिर guilty लग रहा था because imagine in school days I used to protect the girls from getting bullied, and here I was being the cause of her worry, you know. So I used to keep मेरे अंदर बहुत ही मुझे घुटन महसूस हो रही थी कि मैं किसी की लाइफ बर्बाद कर रहा हूँ, you know. मेरे ही कारण हो रहा है. So then I need to put an end to it. तो हम लोगों ने बात की आपस में. I didn't tell her about my sexuality related issues. हमने कहा कि बस ये जम नहीं रहा है, there's no use continuing a marriage. Or since we didn't have any sexual relationship, she was still a virgin. And non-consummation of marriage is a very valid ground for a divorce. हमारा divorce तो बहुत जल्दी हो गया. उसने prove कर दिया that she's a virgin. मैंने कहा yes, she is a virgin. You know, and the court granted us the divorce. So they said that you all are still young. I was 26, she was 24.
And on this, even you have done a study, I think first study that was in India on wives of gays.
Yes, wives.
What was that about?
क्या हुआ था कि when we were running our organization, we got a few women coming to us saying that we suspect our husbands may be gay.
अच्छा, मतलब पता चल.
Yes. तो हमने कहा कि हाँ तो कोई बात नहीं. I mean we can do counseling for you. हमने उनको समझाया कि भाई gay क्या होता है ये वगैरह. We give them the education, and then we asked them that is he satisfying you? Some women came and told us yes, they are. The husbands are satisfying us. We have no problems. You know, उनको बच्चे भी हो गए. Because see, एक गैर मान्यता है लोगों में कि homosexuality means impotency is the same thing, which is not true.
Of course.
You know, so you maybe will be able to satisfy a woman sexually, even if you are gay. So it's not that you cannot satisfy, but see, you're doing it by force. And anything which is done force is artificial. It's not coming natural. So then the women started accepting, and then they said, okay, I mean, we will accept. Some women accepted, some did not accept. But then by then we had a lot of women with us who became our peer educators, you know, who used to talk to other women, other wives, कि देखो अगर आपका पति ऐसा है तो मैंने भी मेरे पति को एक्सेप्ट किया है, आप भी करो अगर आप करना चाहे तो ऐसे करते करते एक फिल्म बनी. There was a documentary film made on I was the facilitator. This was shot in Baroda. The film's name was Gay in Private and something on and Married in Public and Gay in Private. ऐसा कुछ था. So like बाकी दुनिया तो तुम्हारा बड़ा अच्छा ये पति पत्नी है, हेटेरोसेक्सुअल मैरिज है वगैरह वगैरह, लेकिन सिर्फ हस्बैंड को मालूम है, वाइफ को मालूम है कि मेरा पति गे है, और खैर उसके तो मालूम ही है कि मैं. तो उसके ऊपर हमने एक फिल्म बनाई, डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म बनी, एंड यू विल फाइंड सच एस्टोनिशिंग रिजल्ट्स कमिंग. मैं खुद गया था इंटरव्यू लेने के लिए उनके वाइफ्स का, और वो कुछ वाइफ्स ने बोला नहीं लो हम तो बहुत खुश है शादी से, क्योंकि मेरा हस्बैंड का बॉयफ्रेंड है, लेकिन वो बॉयफ्रेंड को प्रेग्नेंट तो नहीं बना सकता ना. The woman is little secure, you know. Yeah, if the husband goes to another girl, then she has a problem. But if she goes to another तो मैंने कहा ये तो सच बात है. The husband cannot make the boyfriend pregnant, you know. And वो है फिर किसी और ने कहा कि हाँ वो भले ही जाता ना, तो उसका भाईबंद है गुजराती में, और एक वो बहनपनी और ऐसा भाईबंद है, तो भाईबंद है, तो उल्टे कहता है वो भाईबंद के साथ झगड़ा करके आता है, तो अब मेरे पास आता है, become the arbitrator for the thing.
मतलब they've made बैठ के जाना तो कहीं है,
पर उसको अगर उसकी गर्लफ्रेंड है तो उसको प्रॉब्लम है, बॉयफ्रेंड है तो उसको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
क्योंकि इंडिया में बॉयफ्रेंड और मतलब ऐसे लड़का साथ घूम सकता है, that's okay of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. तो सर मतलब जैसे अब you spoke to your wife and everything, like so you gave interview. After that, I think you're the third person who gave interview to Oprah after Aishwarya. How was your experience? That is a big thing, I mean. And I think that was not once, you gave interview twice to her.
Thrice.
Wow. Please tell me what your experience was.
उसका एक सीक्रेट है, ओपरा ने मुझे बुलाया, तो फर्स्ट टाइम ओपरा noticed me in 2006 when all this news came out and all that, so she sent me an email. उस टाइम इतने emails आते थे, I was getting from Washington Post और ऑस्ट्रेलिया और यहाँ से वहाँ से. ओपरा का भी ईमेल आया तो मैंने उसको इग्नोर कर दिया, because मुझे मालूम, actually I did not know who Oprah Winfrey was, मैंने उसका नाम भी नहीं जानता था. तो ऐसे करते करते देन शी 2007 में फिर से उसने मुझे बुलाना था, इसलिए उसने सोचा इसकी ईमेल नहीं भेजते. तो देन शी फाउंड माई लैंडलाइन नंबर, पैलेस का लैंडलाइन नंबर भेज के करके मुझे रात को 2:30 बजे फ़ोन आया कि आई एम कॉलिंग फॉर ओपरा शो. एंड करते करते एनीवे टू कट द लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, आई वाज इनवाइटेड, आई वेंट देयर. मैंने ओपरा से माफ़ी मांगी. मैंने कहा ओपरा, sorry that I did not acknowledge your invitation last year because I'm not good with two things. I'm not good with emails and I'm not good with females. So she was like just laughing, just so then but it was fun. It was really fun. She's a very I would say just a nice human, a good soul, a very good soul. Believes in filling cracks. Filling cracks, filling relationships. And what she does is that very, very cleverly, when she interviewed me first time in 2007, she brought out these stories of India, or the facts of India through my personal story. Like she wanted to tell the audience that 80% of gay men in India are married to women. And she started with my own story, with me getting married to my ex-wife. Then second thing which she brought out in that news is that to be gay in India was never a crime. It was the homosexual act which was a crime. And then she asked me this question that, weren't you scared when you came out of the closet? Weren't you scared of getting arrested by the police? I said, no, Oprah, because police did not catch me having sex, Police, if I would be caught having sex, I would be in jail. But they cannot arrest me just because I am out as gay. Because it was never a crime to be gay in India. So those things people were really shocked, because this news went all over the world. It was a live interview. And the first time in the history that the people came to know that what the LGBT community is suffering in India.
It made a lot of change, na?
Yes, definitely. It made quite a lot of change, because second time when she invited me, we won the Delhi High Court judgment. And she gave me a high five for that also. So she was happy that at least some changes are happening in India.
So इसके लिए पहले मैं आपको एक बार हमारा जो जैसे आपने जो बोला कि होमोसेक्सुअल ये है सेक्शन है बेसिकली, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वांट टू आस्क सेक्शन 377 आप एक बार एक्सप्लेन करके, और फिर ये जो डिफरेंट चेंजेस आए जैसे दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट का, तो एक बार आप मेरे को थोड़ा डिटेल.
ठीक है. So, Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code was enacted in 1886 during the British rule, when Queen Victoria was ruling in India. Now, interestingly, this law was enacted by the British because India had revolted against the British in 1857. There was Indian mutiny, as we know. And the Queen found out that there are two communities who are very influential in India. And she decided that if we need to break the backbone of Indians, then these communities need to be destroyed.
Same divide and rule.
Yes. So the two communities they identified was prostitutes, the female sex workers, and the second community was transgenders. So in order to break these two communities, this law was brought. enacted. It was not Indian law. अगर Indian law होता तो ऐसा law आने ही नहीं देते.
नहीं,
हमारे पास तो कानून है. हमारे पास तो कानून सूत्र है. ऐसा law हो ही नहीं सकता था. So anyway, तो ये आया. अभी this law was so much anti-human rights that it is surprising that even after India got independence, why did the government continue with this law? And he had an Indian constitution, which is the world's best written constitution, which is giving equal rights to all citizens. Still this law was continued, and therefore it was important that we knock the doors of the court and ask for justice. Because this law was a direct violation of the human rights or the rights guaranteed by the fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution. That is right to equality, right to privacy, right not to be discriminated, and right to dignity and respect. This court, this matter went very strong.
State, अगर आप simple words में state क्या करता है basically?
So see what this law says, that if a man has sex with a man, irrespective of whatever age group he comes from, with consent of each other, and that sexual act does not result in procreation.
Okay.
If you cannot produce a child from that sexual act, then both the partners who are having the sexual relation will go to jail and will have to pay a fine.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I mean, you are doing your sexual intercourse in your bedroom, in your privacy. So directly right to privacy gets affected. Yeah, you are adults. You are above 18. You are not forcing the other partner. You are consenting. You are ready. The other partner is ready, and yet both of us have to go to jail.
And this doesn't mean you can't have baby all the time. No, after having sex.
Yeah. Even the same question we asked, that what about a male and female who has sex and doesn't produce a child? That means that Queen Victoria thought that only you can, according to Queen Victoria, you can have sex only to produce a baby.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, And so then it had to be challenged. We could not have a law in this country which will, even in fact, some people who interpreted the law, they said even masturbation is a crime there. That is also penetrative sex. It's a penetrative sex, and which doesn't, masturbation will not make you produce a child, So when this law doesn't make any sense, And more than anything else, this law was being misused by, rather than being used, by the police department. We've had cases, in हमारे बड़ौदा में case हुआ, where the police used to come and brutally assault our workers and all for distributing condoms. बोले आप तो homosexuality फैला रहे हो, you are violating section 377. अरे हम किसी की जान बचा रहे हैं, हम उसको condoms बांट रहे हैं, और हम लोग बोल रहे हैं हम लोग 377 को violate कर रहे हैं. तो इसलिए it was important that this law has to be, हमने law को हटाया नहीं है, हमने law को amend किया है. हम नहीं चाहते कि minors के साथ में rape हो, हम नहीं चाहते कि females के साथ rape हो. That's why we amended, saying that this law is remaining, but there are two conditions. Both the partners have to be adults. Okay. Both need to take consent of each other. Then section 377 will not apply to them. Whether you are a male or a male, you are a female or a female, or you are male. And yes, another thing which Queen Victoria said was that even she included animal sex in that. Now, I don't know from where she got this idea that females like to have sex with animals. But anyway, I am myself an animal rights activist. I would definitely not like that a human being has sex with an animal.
Of course.
Also, we have in the amendment have stated that it has to be a human being who is adult and who is consenting. Then this law is not to be applicable.
So, but amendment pass ho gaya?
Yes. So the amendment has been passed. It is irreversible. No court, no government, no parliament can bring back that law. It is totally irreversible. It was a five judges bench which gave this unanimous decision. In fact, we had a lady judge, I'm forgetting her name, she even went to the extent of saying that the country owes an apology to the LGBT community for since 1947, since the time India got independent, the country owes an apology to the LGBT community for causing harm and violation of their human rights.
All this time, huh?
Yes. Imagine, I mean, for us, 1947, 15th August had no meaning. Because खरे महीने में हमको स्वतंत्रता नहीं मिली थी. हमको स्वतंत्रता 6 सितंबर 2018 में मिली है. तो वो हमारा इंडिपेंडेंस डे है.
So, आप जो प्राइड मंथ सेलिब्रेट करते हो वो इसी के लिए प्राइड मंथ का रेफरेंस क्या रहता है?
क्यों सेलिब्रेट कर रहा हो रहे हैं जून महीने में, वो उसका दूसरा कारण है. बिकॉज सबसे पहला जो गे मूवमेंट था वो न्यूयॉर्क में शुरू हुआ था 1969 में, जून महीने में. देयर इज अ स्टोन वॉल इन देयर पीपल वर एक्चुअली किल्ड. देयर वाज सो मच ऑफ वायलेंस. पीपल वर स्टोन्ड, दे वर किल्ड, दे वर इंजर्ड because there was this bar that people wanted to discontinue that bar which was being used by the LGBT community. So the community revolted, they went on streets, they fought for their rights and they won. So that's why June month is celebrated as Pride Month all over the world, not just in India. But yeah, in India now we celebrated June, and we also now September is coming. So we'll be celebrating in September because September is one time when we got our as Indian citizens for the first time we got our rights since independence.
So ये पर जो अभी अमित शाह हमारे जो मिनिस्टर हैं उनके जो अभी भारतीय न्याय संहिता हुई है, तो उसमें आईपीसी को मतलब सिर्फ इसको 377 को एग्जेम्प्ट करके क्यों रखा है? मतलब
नहीं देखिए, आईपीसी वगैरह अच्छी बात है कि अभी ये चीज़ हो रहा है. बिकॉज हम तो शुरू से गवर्नमेंट को बोल रहे थे कि इतने सारे कायदे भारत में हैं जिनका कोई मान्य नहीं है, नो. बिकॉज उस टाइम पे जब वो कायदे बने थे उस टाइम पे ब्रिटिश का राज था. और जैसे अभी 377 है, इसका कुछ ताल्लुक नहीं है इंडिया के साथ में. बिकॉज वो विक्टोरियन मोरालिटी की ओर बना हुआ था. अभी क्वीन विक्टोरिया तो कभी गई और ब्रिटिशर्स ने खुद ने ये लीगलाइज कर दिया है. तो फिर वाई इंडिया इज कंटिन्यू. वैसे बहुत सारे कायदे हैं भारत के आईपीसी में जो कोई मीनिंग नहीं रखते हैं.
बट सर मीडिया और पॉलिटिक्स का आपको सपोर्ट अब लगता है?
यस, बट डेफिनेटली हमारा सेक्शन को कोई हाथ नहीं लगा सकता. सेक्शन 377 जैसा अमेंड हुआ है वैसा ही रहेगा. इट विल नॉट बी चेंज even if the IPC goes away or anything goes away. This has been passed by the Supreme Court, and this will remain in force for lifelong.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
और मेरे को सर एक मैंने आपका TEDx टॉक देखा था, उसमें मैंने एक आपका इंसिडेंट सुना था बाबा रामदेव. That was so interesting. I wanted to know वो in detail. तो आप किधर मिले थे उनसे और क्या रहा था?
तो एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था कि 2009 में दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने हमारे फेवर में जजमेंट दिया ये 377 को लेकर. तो सारे गांव ये अपने जो रिलीजियस लीडर्स थे तो आप काफ़ी भड़क गए. बोले नहीं ये कैसे इन्होंने कायदा पास कर लिया, और हम धर्म के विरुद्ध हैं, ये तो विकृति है, ये तो ये है वो है, नो हाउ दे आर. तो ऐसे करके दे ऑल यूनाइटेड. हम तो इनके सामने लड़ेंगे. दे ऑल मतलब मैं जब भी विदेश में भाषण देता हूँ मैं कहता हूँ कि भारत में बहुत सारी हिस्ट्रीज रची है. नो, वन ऑफ द हिस्टोरिकल थिंग्स विच इंडिया डिड वाज दैट व्हेन वी वन द केस फर्स्ट टाइम इन हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया ऑल रिलीजियस लीडर्स यूनाइटेड. हिंदू मुस्लिम क्रिश्चियन जितने भी थे यहाँ तो मुस्लिम ही लग जाना. गेस को LGBT को डरने के लिए सारे रिलीजियस लीडर्स एक हो गए, नो, और हमारे सामने लड़े. और तो बाबा रामदेव को भी मतलब ही वाज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ दैट फाइट. तो उन्होंने तो कहा कि मैं तो चैलेंज करता हूँ कि ये तो बीमारी है, मानसिक रोग है, इसका तो इलाज होना चाहिए. इसको तो मैं आप हमारे आश्रम में इनको भेजिए. मैं इनका इलाज करवाता हूँ, इनको मैं ठीक मतलब नॉर्मल कर दूंगा योगा से. अभी मैं तो खुद योगा का स्टूडेंट हूँ, नो. पर योगा सिखाता नहीं. मैंने कहा हो सकता है इनके पास कोई नया योगा होगा, नो. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, मैं तो चैलेंज लेने को तैयार हूँ. तो फिर मैंने पूछा कितना टाइम लगेगा. तो उन्होंने कहा 3 महीने आप ऋषिकेश क्या हरिद्वार आप आ जाओ, 3 महीने में आपको मैं नॉर्मल स्टेट बना दूंगा. मैंने कहा अच्छी बात है. मैंने कहा मैं मेरे दूसरे फ्रेंड्स लोगों को भी ले आऊँगा, उनकी माताएं बहुत खुश हो जाएगी कि ये तो देखो ना 3 महीने में हमारे बेटे को ठीक कर रहे हैं।
हाँ।
तो फिर मैंने बोला कि ऐसा करो, अब मैं आपको 2 महीने और ग्रेस पीरियड देता हूँ। 3 महीने की जगह 5 महीने ले लो आप मेरे को ठीक कराने के लिए। पर मेरा एक कंडीशन है, अगर आपने मेरे को 3 या 5 महीने में गे से स्ट्रेट या नॉर्मल नहीं बनाया, आप राजपीपला आ जाओ मेरे राजमहल में।
हाँ।
मैं आपको 3 घंटे में गे बना दूंगा। तो अभी तक उन्होंने चैलेंज तरह से निकाला नहीं है। नहीं, मेरे नहीं, अगर आसान होता मेरे को स्ट्रेट बनाने में तो मैं कब का हो जाता है,
हाँ यार,
मैं तो बहुत योगा करता हूँ,
हाँ।
तो ऐसा थोड़ी क्यों होता है, कि आप किसी को स्ट्रेट बना सकते हो।
Of course.
मुझे आप स्ट्रेट बना सकते हो तो मैं भी आपको गे बना सकता हूँ, सीधी सी बात है, ऐसा अगर मैं भी योग से आपको गे बना दूंगा।
Wow.
He-
That was a comeback.
Yeah, he is not very scared of me.
Yes.
He was, in fact, बीच में मैंने सुना था कि वो आने वाले थे राजपीपला, ये कुछ उनका योगा का सत्संग वगैरह करने के लिए, और सारी तैयारियां कर ली वगैरह। लोगों के उनकी वो जो पतंजलि के जो ग्रुप के है ना, वो आए थे। हम हमारे पैलेस में ही रखने वाले थे, बिकॉज दे नीड अ बिग ग्राउंड,
Okay.
तो आए सब, उन्होंने हायर वगैरह चार्ज सब तय किया, और एन मौके पे उसने कैंसिल कर दिया। He came to know that I had Rajpipla ना, तो उनको 3 घंटे वाली बात याद आई उनको। So, yeah, they cancelled, they never came. मैं तो अभी तक राह देख रहा हूँ कब आएंगे, But hey, that is what I call hypocrisy. और मैं जब योग सीखता था ना, तो हम लोग ने सिर्फ आसन प्राणायाम ये सब नहीं सीखा है। हमने जो पतंजलि का बनाया हुआ जो 7-fold पाथ ऑफ योगा है वो सीखा है। उसमें सबसे पहली चीज़ जो बताई है वो है सत्य। आसन वगैरह बाद में आता है, इसमें यम नियम, दे स्टार्ट विद द अष्टांग, नॉट सॉरी 8-fold पाथ ऑफ योगा, उसको अष्टांग योग बोलते हैं। उसमें सबसे पहला यम में सबसे पहली चीज़ बताई है सत्य, फर्स्ट स्टेप। अगर आप पहली सीढ़ी नहीं चढ़ पा रहे हैं, अगर आप सत्य को ही नहीं अपना सकते हैं, तो आप योग तक कहाँ से जाएंगे?
And yoga is a mind game.
Exactly. So you have to know the philosophy behind yoga. Yoga is not just doing asanas and pranayams and healing yourself. You need to have certain principles, philosophies in your life,
Of course.
which you need to follow. This will be like preaching without practicing it.
Ultimately, it boils back to the same thing कि it's not a बीमारी to treat. वो जो लोग एक perception है।
लोग देखते हैं कि अगर मैं एक पागल आदमी हूँ तो क्यों मुझे ओपरा विनफ्री बुलाएगी, क्यों मुझे कार्डेशियन बुलाएंगे, क्यों लोग अगर मैं मानसिक मुझे मानसिक बीमारी है तो why is the government giving me grant?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
अब Kardashians के भी
कार्डेशियन का भी मैं जाके आया, अगर वो कार्डेशियन को मालूम होता तो ये पागल है तो क्यों मुझे बुलाते हैं,
वो you must have met Krish because Chris का because her husband was or he came out.
Yeah, husband, what was his name? What is it? कुछ ऐसा ही नाम था. He became a woman. Yeah, they were in married life for many years, and after that he decided that he's not comfortable in a male's body, and he wanted to become a woman. So I met Chris. I explained to her the situation, and of course Kim invited me home. So I did two episodes with Kim. Kardashian called me to her home, and she was joined by 3 sisters, Chloe, Courtney, and Kendall. So all 4 of us, we sat and we talked many things about India and about the LGBT issues. So these are the ways in which you can educate, because see, Kardashians have a great influence on the
big time
youth population.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what happened. I was invited in 2017. Okay. Now, before I was invited, there were a lot of my cousins and my friends and many people who were like, used to hate me like hell. Like they would not call me for their events, and they would not even see me also. छूते भी नहीं थे. They said maybe हम touch करेंगे तो हम gay हो जाएंगे. I don't know what they have feeling, So they were not behaving properly with me. मैं ये show करके वापस आया, and ये भी surprise, मेरे खुद के cousins और सब मेरे पास में आते हैं, nephews सब बोलते हैं, Uncle, can we have a selfie with you? मैंने कहा selfie? But am I not a criminal? No, you are an angel. And I said, my God, एक Kardashian show क्या कर लिया? ये पे criminal वैसे angel बन गया,
Wow.
So see how that's the power of media. That's how people, because when this if Kim Kardashian is your role model and she says that homosexuality is normal,
Yeah.
then people listen to her and people change.
Right. So आपका अगर मैं मतलब if I talk about the journey, अब how do you एक normal इंसान के लिए मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जैसे लड़कियों का तो बोलते हैं कि girls are always bi. This is a thing that is being said. तो कैसे पता चलता है, लाइक हाउ डू यू डिफरेंशिएट? क्योंकि आई एम श्योर बहुत लोग ऐसे आंसर करते होंगे कि यू नो आई एम प्रॉबेबली बाय, आई एम नॉट गे और आई एम अ लेस्बियन. सो हाउ डू यू डिफरेंशिएट? व्हाट इज दैट वन थिंग जो आपको रियलाइज हुआ कि नो आई एम गे, आई नो दिस फॉर अ फैक्ट? सो वो कैसे पता चलता है?
सो देखो क्या होता है कि मैं जब भी मेरे कम्युनिटी से बात करता हूँ, मैं उनको ये सबसे पहले ये कहता हूँ कि accept yourself. That is very important. Self-acceptance is a very first step one should take. And not just that, but try and find out your sexual identity or gender identity. Because many times what happens is that many of us, most of us, for convenience sake, even though you're gay or lesbian, you will not accept it, and you will say no, I'm not gay, I'm not lesbian, I'm bisexual.
Exactly.
Because that brings you closer to being heterosexual.
Yeah.
No? So, but they are not. They are just forcing themselves to accept that we are bisexual, but they are not attracted towards the opposite sex. And then they have problems in life. So it's always good to be a very upfront and be honest to yourself and honest to the others. And if you are identifying as gay and if you have no attraction towards the opposite sex, then say you're gay. So many people tell me that, अच्छा ये तो इसकी तो शादी हो गई है, तो ये तो गे नहीं हुआ, ये तो बाइसेक्सुअल हुआ. मैंने कहा नहीं, शादी होने से व्यक्ति बाइसेक्सुअल नहीं हो जाता. He's got married because we don't know, कुछ circumstances के वजह से हो गया होगा, इसको पेरेंट्स के दबाव के वजह से, या उसने खुद ने सोचा होगा कि नहीं अगर मैं शादी नहीं करूँगा तो फिर समाज क्या कहेगा.
तो पर अगर जैसे if somebody has come out और जैसे हमारे जेंडर का होता है कि you choose you are male female, और तो उसमें how do you register yourself then? मतलब कि now you're officially on paper, you are ऐसे, do we have that or like we are supposed to register, or is it
registered नहीं होता है, लेकिन ट्रांस के लिए होता है सब. For male and female there's no problem. See nowadays if you noticed अभी काफ़ी changes हमारे country में हो गए हैं. Even if you opening bank account or filling up immigration form or something, you have M, F and others.
Others, yeah.
Or sometimes they write some TG, whatever other sex or some gender, TG, third gender or something. So so nowadays you either identify as a male or a female or others. So and others, you may be a trans woman. Suppose you don't want to identify as a male. Suppose you don't want to identify as female. Then you can tick that others box where you can identify. Now government is also issuing transgender cards. Yes, like identity cards, like you have your Aadhaar card and your PAN. So the government is issuing transgender cards, and that card will give you certain benefits. So if you have a transgender card, all you need to do is you have to take your Aadhaar card. Your Aadhaar card may have the name of your previous gender. Like suppose you are born as a female, but you have now transitioned as a male. Then your Aadhaar card will have the name of the female, but you identify now as you have transitioned to a male. So you can take that Aadhaar card. They will change as for, suppose I say that now I don't want to have a female name, I want to have a male name. So then you get a transgender card on the basis of your other gender, either male to female or female to male, and they will issue that card to you. The district magistrate normally issues it.
Like there are proper portals and offices.
Yeah. So my organization has facilitated. We have got these cards made by number of people, and on that basis of that card, you can get certain benefits from the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
मतलब things are changing.
Yes.
100%.
Things are changing.
Officially also.
Yes.
Okay. And आपको कोई ऐसा moment और मतलब because you counsel so many people, तो ऐसा कोई one scariest experience that you heard और कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है आपने सुना, just because people were going through pressure and they got married and everything. So Do you remember any experience?
दूसरे लोगों के साथ तो खैर हुआ ही, मेरे खुद के साथ भी ये बहुत स्कैरी इंसिडेंट हुआ था. You want me to tell you?
या
तो क्या हुआ था कि 2006 में जब मैं बाहर आउट हुआ तो काफी लोग मेरे विरोध थे. ऐसा था कि आई वाज लाइक गोइंग अगेंस्ट द करंट. यू नो, जैसे कि आप नदी क्रॉस कर रहे हो और नदी के अगेंस्ट जा रहे हो. यू नो, दैट वाज माय सिचुएशन. तो मुझे डेथ थ्रेट्स मिलने लगे. आई वाज गेटिंग, मुझे धमकी आने लगी कि हम तो आपको मार डालेंगे. मैंने कहा ठीक है मार डालो, क्या होगा, मैक्सिमम टू मैक्सिमम. मैंने क्रिस को भी वही बोला. क्रिस ये जो किम की मदर, उसने मुझे पूछा कि व्हाट डिड यू, ऐसे क्रिस यू कैन सैक्रिफाइस, you can get a husband, you can get a house, you cannot get a life back. I said I put my life on stake, and I used to really get a lot of threatening calls. Threats from the family, threats from people around me, threats from people in the Rajput community and all, because why? Because people are not used to listening to truth. You know, इसलिए बोलते हैं ना सच कड़वा है. लेकिन मैंने तो ठान लिया था कि मैं सच ही बोलूंगा, सच के सिवाय कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा. ऑनेस्ट, यू नो, चाहे दुनिया को जो भी समझना है समझे, नहीं उनको एक्सेप्ट करना है तो नहीं करे. मैं सत्य को नहीं छोड़ने वाला हूँ. तो वैसे करके मैं तो आई वेंट ऑन गिविंग मीडिया स्टोरीज में ये वो करते करते, लाइक यू नो, टेलीविजन, न्यूज़पेपर्स. तो लोगों को वो खटकने लगा, यू नो, कि अभी ये कितना भी सच बोलेगा, यू नो, तो इसको खत्म कर दिया जाए, यू नो.
I think वही religious was
just finish him up once and for all. Else nowadays it's easy to kill someone, you know. Poison कर दो या गाड़ी के ब्रेक फेल कर दो, एक्सीडेंट हो गया, मर गया बेचारा. You know.
This must be difficult for you because you're a prince.
Exactly.
Major reason.
So मैंने कहा ठीक है, अगर मार डालेंगे तो मार डालेंगे. मेरे एक के मरने से ये मूवमेंट खत्म तो नहीं होने वाला, उल्टे और ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाएगा. So when I was many years back, मैं तो भूल भी गया कि कोई मुझे मारने वाला था, you know, because कोई आए नहीं मारने के लिए. तो मैंने कहा चलो शायद कुछ विचार बदल गया होगा लोगों का. तो फिर मैं तो एक दिन बैठा था. One man comes to me, says कि मुझे आपसे अकेले में बात करनी है. तो मैंने कहा चलो, where do you want to talk? So I took him on the side, and then he is confiding to me, I was hired to kill you. Can you imagine? I am meeting my own murderer, you know. I mean, a person who was hired to kill me, he meets me, and then मैंने कहा अच्छा चलो, where is your weapon, where is your sword, where is your gun, kill me. I'm standing here like, you know, without any protection. हम एकांत में आए हैं, मार डालो मुझे. नहीं, मैं उसके लिए नहीं आया हूँ, मैं आपसे माफ़ी मांगने आया. I was quite surprised. मैंने कहा मेरा खूनी मेरे से माफ़ी मांग रहा है, ये तो मतलब, यू नो, बहुत अजीब चीज़ है. तो ही सेड कि मुझे अंदर से बहुत गिल्टी फील हो रहा था कि वाई मैंने ये सोचा भी कैसे. बिकॉज देन ही सेड आई रेड अबाउट यू, मैंने आपके बारे में पढ़ा, मैंने समलैंगिकता के बारे में, होमोसेक्सुअलिटी के बारे में पढ़ा, एंड मुझे एहसास हुआ कि आप गलत काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. यू आर डूइंग गुड फॉर द कम्युनिटी, आप ह्यूमन राइट्स के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. तो मेरे मन में विचार ही क्यों आया. So I decided that this is not happening, and now I come to ask for pardon from you.
उसका खुद का
guilt आया, and then I said चलो माफ किया, let's go and have coffee.
Wow.
And today this guy has become not just a friend, he's become an ally, and he's supporting me, and he's also creating awareness amongst people about LGBT.
Wow.
See the change.
Yeah.
You know. A person who was hired to kill me is now become my support.
मतलब मेन जो आपसे तो मेन जो एजुकेशन ही है, लोगों को पता होना चाहिए, तब उन्हें समझ आएगा कि
exactly
coming out is also not it's like a difficult thing that you must have done because of the society. It was a natural process. It could have been really easy, but because of the society, it got really difficult for you.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, things can change, you know. This is the extreme case, you know.
Yeah.
Just imagine, you know, someone wants to kill me was now become my ally. तो कभी सोच भी नहीं सकते.
आपके husband को ऐसा हुआ है कभी कुछ ऐसे उनको भी आए?
Yes, he also had received death threats. He also, because I mean, today imagine he is coming from a different culture, different background, different continent. Everything is different, and
उनको इंडिया से ही आए उनको भी.
Yes, he also got from threats from India. And I'm surviving. He's also surviving.
How's the relation with him now?
Oh, we are a very loving, romantic couple. And I mean, for me, it is not coming together of two beings. It's coming together of two souls.
Wow.
I believe in that. See, a soul has no gender.
हाँ.
सोल की का कोई जेंडर नहीं है, सोल में कोई मेल या फीमेल ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. सोल इज अ सोल. आत्मा का जो डेफिनेशन है वो बहुत ही एंड ही इज अ वेरी हाईली स्पिरिचुअल पर्सन. बहुत ही आध्यात्मिक व्यक्ति है वो, मेरे से भी ज़्यादा आध्यात्मिक है. एंड हम लोगों को भले ही हमारे देश ने हमको रहने नहीं दिया साथ में बिकॉज ऑफ कोरोना और मेनी अदर रीजंस, लेकिन वो दो आत्माएं इतनी अच्छे से एक दूसरे से मिल गई है ना कि कोई भी फोर्स उसको जुदा नहीं कर सकता.
So nice. So are you मतलब going to adopt child in future for your own throne and
नहीं, you know, adoption, I'm not against adoption, and to be very honest, I don't want to divert myself into taking care of a child and then depriving from other fighting for justice and fighting for rights, because as I told you in the beginning, I'm not just fighting for LGBT, I'm fighting for so many other people. So I don't get time and I don't wish to do injustice to a child.
But is it allowed in India now?
No, adoption is not allowed by same-sex couples, But I'm sure there'll be somebody who will carry the lineage forward. It's not necessary that I have to adopt someone to take this forward. But yes, when people ask me, why don't you adopt? I said, there are so many thousands of children in India who are already calling me daddy, you know. They're like how Ashok is called the godfather. I'm also being called godfather by so many people. So I am their parent, you know.
And it's not, I think for you, it's not just India. You're making the change worldwide, literally.
So I am not limited to in India, because whenever I go and do my advocacy outside of India, many times when I talk to foreigners, I give them this one quote, which is from Sanskrit language, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is one family.
Wow.
So for me, if I'm fighting for rights, I was in USA fighting for the abortion rights last year. I said, this is not fair that women are, who is the government to decide whether the woman should be allowed to do abortion or not?
Of course.
So I'm fighting for those rights also, you know. I'm fighting on human trafficking rights. I'm on the board of human trafficking or non-profit organization in Ohio. I'm doing work on that. So there are many things I'm fighting on globally. It's not just, India or America. You know, there are many things to be... See, there are so many things which we need to be done collectively as one world, one planet.
But आपको कभी ऐसा फील, जैसे मैं अभी आपकी बात सुन रही तो मुझे बस अभी एकदम क्वेश्चन आया कि आपको कभी ऐसा फील नहीं होता कि आई वांट अ नॉर्मल लाइफ, अ कॉमन, मतलब बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स इन योर लाइफ, लाइक बीइंग फ्रॉम अ रॉयल फैमिली, उनकी अपनी रिस्पॉन्स, मतलब लोगों को सिर्फ गागा दिखता होगा बट उसके साथ जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आती है वो अलग है, और उसकी वजह से आपको कितनी डिफिकल्टी हुई है. तो यू नेवर फेल्ट यू जस्ट नीड अ नॉर्मल life where you can probably live with your husband and just relax and read.
वो होता है, कभी कभार आता है, पर then मुझे फिर जब मैं लोगों के बारे में सोचता हूँ and then I think about you know what, मेरे में एक weakness है, जो भी कह लो, whenever somebody is brings me joy and somebody is happy, I feel very mentally satisfied, and that gives me the motivation that no, I need to work even harder. There are so many people's lives which need to be saved.
I think this is your purpose.
So I feel happy and I feel very satisfied that चलो कम से कम एक व्यक्ति की तो जान बची. You know, so that drives me to sacrifice my privacy, sacrifice my, leading this kind of a routine life. Yes, जब समय आएगा तो वो भी enjoy कर लेंगे. पर अभी मेरा priority किसी की जान बचाने की है, जो बहुत ही कीमती है. दैट लाइफ इज प्रेशियस.
और आई थिंक धीरे धीरे ही होगा, बट होगा, आई एम श्योर. तो एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन बस मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी. अगर कोई इंसान जो स्ट्रगल कर रहा है अभी, एनीबडी हु इज वॉचिंग दिस, व्हाट इज दैट वन गाइड, मतलब वन टिप मैं पूछूंगी आपसे कि आप उन्हें देना चाहोगे कि थिंक अबाउट दिस फर्स्ट एंड देन take your decision, so that what that would be?
तो तो मैं दो पॉइंट्स
तो प्लीज सर.
सबसे पहला है कि डू नॉट जज समवन इंस्टेंटली. गेट इनसाइड द शूज ऑफ द अदर इंडिविजुअल. उसके अंदर जाके जांच के देखो कि वो व्यक्ति में क्या गुजर रहा है, वो क्या उसकी पीड़ा है, तब उसके बारे में ज़्यादा हम समझ पाएंगे. एंड नॉट जस्ट बाय हियरिंग अबाउट थिंग्स और नॉट अबाउट सीइंग पीपल. दैट शुड नॉट वी शुड नॉट बी दैट जजमेंटल. दूसरा सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट बात मैं सब लोगों को कहना चाहूँगा, सेल्फ लव. अपने आप को प्रेम करो. स्टार्ट लविंग योर सेल्फ. आप जब अपने आप को प्रेम करना शुरू करोगे ना, आप देखेंगे आप दुनिया में कितनी नफ़रत है, कितना हेटरेट, कितना फोबिया है, कितना फियर है, वो सब कम हो जाएगा. और प्रेम, अगर आप खुद को प्रेम करेंगे तो आप और लोगों को प्रेम कर
पाएंगे. हाँ जी.
You will be able to reduce hatred, you will be able to reduce fear, you'll be able to reduce phobia. And this earth is beautiful, no doubt. But by just loving yourself, you will realize you will be able to make this beautiful earth even a much beautiful place to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really wish ये podcast से कुछ एक इंसान की भी लाइफ अगर मैं इस कंटेंट की वजह से भी अगर सेव हो सकती है तो आई थिंक सफल हो जाएगा. सो एंड थैंक यू सो मच. लाइक आई सेड इन द फर्स्ट, मतलब जब मैं बोलना चाहती थी मैंने सबसे पहले बोला, आई थिंक आई जस्ट वांट टू से थैंक यू फॉर एग्जिस्टिंग सर. मतलब यू आर मेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस. सो एंड थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग मी योर टाइम.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure talking.
Same here, sir. Same. Thank you so much.